What is up, all of you beautiful people? Holy crap. The Battle of Winterfell just happened. It's a surprise fan chat live, guys. I had Ken reach out to you guys on social media about this. We were going to do this tomorrow morning, and I actually decided, nah, I can't wait. It's too dope. It's way too dope. We've got to talk about all of this right now. So as people are trickling in, let me know, what did you think? Just thoughts right off the bat about the Battle of Winterfell. And I have to let you know, too, if you're new to the channel, if you've never been to a fan chat live before, I have to say, this might not be the video for you. This is sort of casual. This is just us sort of talking, chatting about this episode. So if you want like an edited video, come back for a different video. This might not be the video for you. If you're used to this, what is up, fam? I see you guys in the chat. What did you think of this episode? Please let me know. I see a lot of hype. A lot of hype. Yeah. We're going to get into this. So as always, the way we usually do this, I'm going to give my thoughts. I want to break down some really cool things from the episode, and then we will get into Q&A, okay? So we'll wait just a second here. Let me know, as you guys are coming into the chat, what did you think of this episode? What's up, Brent? What's up, Justin? Branch Ranch, Alex, Daniel. What's up, everybody? The episode took 10 years off me. Yeah. I'll say that between this episode and Avengers Endgame, wow, it has been an emotionally taxing week for nerds everywhere, I would venture to say. Really, really crazy stuff. The ending made no sense, Jacob says. Oh, we'll get into that. So crazy, so crazy. This was a really special. Miguel Sapochnik, I want to say that name. I want to say that name, and I want to say it several times. Miguel Sapochnik. He's the man that directed this episode. This is we heard a lot about this episode before we got into it, right? Like 60 days of shooting. 60 days of shooting. Just an insane amount of work went into this thing. This is the big bubble. This is the big thing. All right, so a couple of notes that I wanted to start off. I just want to kind of give you my thoughts of what the things that went down in the episode and what I thought of them. It just the episode begins just brilliantly, and I'm not going to get too far hung up on little things, but it starts with this just amazing tracking shot, and you get all of these just really well choreographed shots of the characters all coming together as they're getting ready for the battle. They're literally getting into battle formation. That's how this episode opens, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's amazing. The next big thing that happens is Melisandre comes on. She literally turns the Dothraki blades on fire. It was absolutely insane. This was a really cool moment because it really sort of built up hope. Like, she comes out of nowhere. She lights all of these things on fire. They're like, what's going on? From the distance, from where Jon and Dany are sitting or standing as they sort of sweep out, they can see down below just the huge line of Dothraki. And someone please let me know in chat, was that really all 40,000 of the Dothraki? Was that 40,000 Dothraki, or was that like not 40,000 Dothraki? Because I gotta know, because that was crazy. But yeah, so literally she comes in, she lights all of that stuff up. It's really, really cool. The first charge is really intense. It's Jorah with the Dothraki, which I thought was really cool. They charge in there, and again, we get to see it kind of from the back. And real quick note too, Ghost. We get to see Ghost in a line next to Jorah, and he charges as well. Now, I'm guessing he's dead. Do you know what I mean? We don't see him. But that was dope, seeing Ghost like that. That was absolutely crazy. I was pretty pumped about that. So they charge in. From when you look back, it looked like a wall of them. A wall, like hundreds of thousands of dead. Just so many dead, like just huge wall of them. And you see the line of fire get sort of dwarfed and snuffed out, and then eventually it's just literally gone. And a few stragglers make it back, but that was insane. Yeah, they might literally all be gone. They might literally all be gone. Wow. So that happens, and it is gut-wrenching. It's great cinematography. I absolutely loved the way that they did that. It's gut-wrenching, right? Then you sort of get onto the ground as the line of dead charge the army outside of Winterfell, and they just annihilate them. Again, it's like this a wall, and at this point, I'm sitting there thinking, well, they're done. You know, like there's literally no way there's no way they're getting out of this. This was it was insane, right? And then you get a hopeful moment. You get the dragons finally coming in and being hopeful and sort of, burning up all the stuff behind them, stopping that huge wall. And that was a really, really interesting moment. Like it almost felt like the pacing for the film and the way that, or the film, I'm calling it a film, the pacing for the battle, which is essentially the episode, was really smart because it had like separate little battles. It had separate little moments of triumph. Do you know what I mean? Jason, thank you, man. I see you. Thank you for the super chat. Just supporting the channel, no questions. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate it, man. The pacing was really crazy. So the next thing that happens, and I'm not going to get into every little detail of the thing. I'm just going to broad stroke it. The next thing that I thought was really weird was this big, icy sort of cloud-like vortex thing. And even though like it's weird and it sort of visually was hard for me to wrap my head around at first, it's a brilliant device in the episode because it allows different parts of the battle to be segmented. It allows like sort of issues and movement and things like that to happen. And the pacing of the episode is ultimately served by this weird cloud thing that they wrote into the episode. It was like this ominous and crazy, but it ended up really, really doing something for the pacing of the episode, which was weird to me. The next thing that I want to talk about is like speaking of this like segmentation was the actual dragon on dragon fights that we get, and we get legit dragon on dragon fights, and the way that they flew out of that canopy into the sky and fought up there was incredible. I was wondering, I was like, how much are they going to go for it? And they like went for it with the dragon fighting. It was absolutely crazy. And as far as the dragons too, and we'll get into this I'm sure in Q&A or whatever. But it seems like Drogon is alive. I do not know about Rhaegal. I really don't. I was trying to think about it in my head. I was like, well, he just got like bit up, I believe. But then I don't know. Maybe he's alive. Maybe he's wounded. But yeah, that's how that one goes. Now the next couple things that I want to touch on all has to do with the big spoiler, and I mean, obviously, if you're in here, you should know that this is spoilers. Spoilers. But this is sort of the big one, of course, and that would be that Arya is the one to ultimately defeat the Night King, right? And so, to me, this was awesome. I had no problem with it, but it was sort of heavily hinted at. It was sort of like really, it was foreshadowed to the point where like I would have been disappointed almost if it didn't happen. Oh, Rhaegal shows up in the preview? Thank you, Felicia. That's cool. That's dope. Okay, both dragons in promo. Thank you, Leanna. Yeah. So basically, the moment, there was two moments, and they all had to do with Melisandre, the Red Woman. When she first shows up, and then she like walks up to the castle keep, and she's just staring at Arya. That was so weird. I was like, why is she having that moment with her? That's so weird, right? And then later on, she has that conversation with her, and literally telling her about the different colors' eyes and the things that she had said to her a while ago, back in the day about the different color eyes of the people that she would kill. And she said the blue eyes. And as soon as she said it, and then Arya goes away, I'm like, okay, well, that's going down. You know what I mean? I was like, that's so a little heavy-handed with that, in my opinion. But I wasn't mad about that at all. I am curious, though. I want to know how you all think about that. So let me know in the chat. Like, what did you think of that as her getting the kill? Are you okay with that? Did you like it? Did you love it? Please let me know what you thought. The next crazy things, of course, are all like Theon and Bran stuff, where Theon gets redeemed by protecting Bran for as long as he can, and then charging the Night King. And then there's, of course, when Arya then kills him. So the thing that I can't figure out is what Bran was doing. Because he says at one point, I have to go, or time for me to go, or something like that. And then he works out into the Ravens, but you never get explained what he's doing. I never know what he's doing. And that kind of bugged me. Carl says loved it. Across the Stars says loved it. MVP Team Stark. Arya is the GOAT. I was okay with it, but really thought John was going to be the one. Pretty sure everyone did. Right, he went with the Ravens, but what? Yeah, no, totally. What's going on with that guy? Zucchini G. Yeah, maybe. Theon's death was a little bit like that, but yeah. Overall, my overall thoughts on this episode, amazing. This was amazing. When I've always thought about like huge battles, like doing massive battles in film or television and stuff like that. Like I would have loved to see something like what they just did with the Battle of Winterfell with like X-Men characters or something like that. Like as crazy as it seems, like I would have loved to have pacing like that in a battle, like a full-fledged battle. This was really unique, and everybody that was involved with this should be really proud. I believe it was Belfast where they shot this, and the crew over there and everything. It was, yeah, this is such a crazy accomplishment. I cannot wait to watch it again. Actually, it's wow, what a week, man! What a week, man! To be a nerd, checking out Endgame and then checking out this, it's been pretty crazy. So let's get into Q&A, guys. I'll probably only go for like 30, 40 minutes, and then I'm literally gonna go watch this again. So let me know what questions you have. You can just drop them in the chat. Of course, if you got some loot and you want to do a super chat, supports the channel. I will answer every single super chat that comes in. But if you don't have any loot, don't even worry about it. No endgame spoilers. Yeah, please don't do that to people. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Ooh, Jason Wallace asks, Arya takes down Cersei in the last episode? That would be hella cool. I mean, the way it looks, though, it looks like Cersei is going to have the upper hand on all of them. Now, the one thing could be, and I'd love to see this, is the gold cloaks are apparently Blackfires, right? So all the gold cloaks are Targaryen bastards. So if they are somehow loyal to Dany, or maybe loyal to Jon, or maybe loyal to them combined or something, and they turn on Cersei, that'd be pretty cool. As far as who gets the ultimate kill on her, yeah, would be cool if it was Arya. At this point, why not? Why not? Khaleesi jumped the gun, though. They needed to wait for the king to reveal him so they could kill him. The Dothraki, she wanted to jump in. Jon was forced to go, too. Yeah, I mean, okay, so that's an interesting question. So that's an interesting question by Rick Crow. So I kind of see where you're going with that. But I think either way, a whole bunch of people die, and then the Night King shows up. Like, I don't think that the Night King would have... how do I explain this? I don't think that the Night King, if he was just slaughtering them, would have like moved in any faster. He would have waited till like he killed most of them and then came in. So it's essentially the same outcome. Jon was only trying to protect Bran the whole time. Dany cared about her soldiers. Yeah, Dany cared about her soldiers, but also I think she cared about just in general like hope. Like it. I just don't think you can win that way, and she's sort of speaking for the audience in that scene as well, right? Like we're all like, nah, bro, like you got to get in there and do something. Who is the prediction on the throne? It's not making sense. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really necessarily have a prediction for the throne. I really didn't think that that Jon was going to make it out of this episode. I thought Jon was going to die, and so. You know, I suppose. See, here's the thing. So I've said this since the first episode to like all of my friends and everybody that I talked to the show about, that they are clearly dangling in front of us this ideal ending with with Dany and Jon, and them two sitting on the throne and being together. I think that's like the perfect ending that they're teasing us with. But because they're teasing us with it, I do not think it's going to happen. I really thought in this episode that Jon would die and that Daenerys would go on and she has the baby. I believe that she's pregnant with Jon's baby. And I thought that would be sort of a way to end it. But at this point, I don't know. It's kind of looking like Jon and Dany still. Is Ghost dead? Well, we don't see him. I haven't seen the preview for the next episode, so I don't know. If anybody did see the preview, let me know. Justin Sanchez is asking about Ghost being dead, and I don't know. I assume he's dead, but that's just me. If this is the end of the White Walkers, maybe. I would say this is probably the end of the White Walkers. I mean, he's the one, the first one, the one. Oh, Trey Slaughter coming in hot with the $5 super chat. MCU or GOT? Oh, I mean, that's tough. I mean, for me, I think that's gonna have to be the MCU for me personally. But I love Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones. But yeah, if you watch this channel, you probably already know which one it is. I do more Marvel content than I do Game of Thrones content. But I like them both. How the heck did Arya sneak up with a bunch of dead surrounding? And how the heck did she jump 100 feet? She's Azor Ahai. She's the prince that was promised. She's just ridiculous and amazing is sort of it. So the director said, I did catch a little bit of this. The director said at the end of that episode recap sort of thing that they had been planning for about 3 years, that they had known for about 3 years that Arya was going to be the one to do it. And so a lot of her arc kind of makes a little more sense now. And some of the things they did to that character make a little bit more sense. I still don't love a lot of it. So even though Arya is one of my favorite characters, I'm not super pumped about some of the stuff they did with her, particularly in season 5 and in season 6. Just because I felt like that was just sort of, some of those were weak episodes. But yeah. Ghost is in the next episode preview. Gods be good. Gods be good. Bran gave Arya the dagger in the same spot a season ago, and she shaked the hell out of the Night King in the same spot? Oh, Michael Mapey, that's a good catch. That is, yeah, that's pretty good. CJ Oleski, what up, dude? Oh, my God, CJ Oleski. Is that the CJ Oleski? Let me know. Ghost and both dragons are in the next episode preview. That's good news. That's good news. Real Man London's in here. Says he hasn't seen the episode, but he's here for the spoilers. Love Game of Thrones, but it's no end game. Oh, throwing some shade. CJ, what's up, man? I hope you're doing well. It's good to hear from you. Tyrion and Sansa on the throne? Maybe. I don't know about that. Even though she didn't use it. Arya requested the special. No, she did use it. Canmu, she used it. She used the crap out of that special weapon. That special weapon was ridiculous. Hey, A-tags. I'm gonna hide that comment. Look, man. You're in timeout. You're timed out, bro. Will we see Nymeria or her wolf pack later on? Zucchini Chi. I doubt it, but maybe. I mean, I kind of felt like that the episode that they had Nymeria in felt sort of fan servicey because the super PAC had not really been in the show at all, and that felt like just a nod to it, and that's it. Just like, hello, this is this thing, and now they're gone. I mean, if they were going to show up, wouldn't they have shown up for this battle? I mean, I guess they could show up against the Gold Cloaks, but no, my gut tells me no. Internet Sato says, what the heck was Bran doing this entire episode? Flying some ravens? That's actually that's the biggest question, right? Like, what the heck? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. What's up, Joshua Strubbles? What's up? I don't know what Bran could have been doing. That's why one of the things that when I'm watching the episode again for the next time, the one thing I need to know is what he says exactly before he works out into the ravens. And then the ravens seem to fly up to the Night King and just surround the Night King. And I was like, what is going on? What is that? What is he doing there? Doesn't make any sense. Bran warged out and was watching Endgame. Yes, he probably was. Thanos may show up to help Cersei. Maybe. I bet Cersei would be down with some Thanos. No spoilers for Endgame, guys. I will hide you from the chat. He says he must go now? Is that what he says? That's crazy. Oh, he's using the Night King. Okay, I get you. Okay, so he's using the ravens to get the Night King to notice him and to come bring him in. What the fuck happened? Damn it, I just swore and you didn't even type the word. What happened to Rhaegal? I think he was just bit up real good. Maybe he was trying to control the dragon. Maybe. I mean, you could say that very end spot when Jon like just yells at the Viserion ice dragon and Viserion literally like just hesitates. You could say that was Bran. I mean, I wonder if in like a commentary or something if the directors will address that. Can you believe we have 3 more episodes? What's crazy to me is people were like bummed that there was only going to be 6 episodes, and then we were told they were going to be feature length, and then they're kind of feature length ish. But guys, this is so much crazy storytelling in so little time. We still have 3 more episodes. I can't wait to see what happens next. It's pretty crazy. Branch Ranch coming in hot with the super chat. He knew was bait, gave Arya the knife, same place. Yeah, that's crazy. That's another thing I'll look for in my second viewing. I mean, I believe you. I believe you. That is pretty crazy. Who's my prediction to kill Cersei? Chris Lloyd? At this point, it would probably be Jaime, actually. Jaime could fulfill that prophecy from Maggie the Frog. And I actually thought she was going to die this episode. I thought the Night King was going to take the Viserion dragon down to King's Landing and just wreak havoc, kill them all. But that didn't happen. PW coming in with the super chat. How does Arya factor into the Azor Ahai and the Lightbringer prophecy? Isn't Jon the prince that was promised? So I'm sure, first of all, there are a million other channels that would be able to answer that question much, much better. I'm not hardcore in the lore. But if you were to, I think Talking Thrones is one of my favorite Thrones channels. And I'm sure he and a ton of other channels are going to break that very thing down. I know that Arya as Azor Ahai was a theory that was out there, so it's not. This doesn't come out of absolutely nowhere. But I think the thing with theories and prophecy and Thrones is that like you can sort of wiggle your way into anyone being anyone for that. Yeah, CJ Oleski, yeah, I kind of wondered what the Red Lady meant by killing Blue Eyes. Thought she meant just the ones that she had already killed. So when the person I was watching it with said that same thing, actually. And for me, when that happened, I was like, that's too on the nose. But maybe it wasn't. I mean, like, I'm interested to see what other people think about that because the Blue Eyes could have just referred to some of the ones she's already done and sort of it's just meant to pump Arya up, and Arya just goes out and just gonna do more damage and be more pumped. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yo. Real Man London says, no endgame spoilers. Respect. Like the video. Going to go watch Game of Thrones. Yeah, no, if you guys could drop a like on the video, that would be terrific. I never, ever do that. I'm so bad at that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you could do that, it would be great. Talking Thrones comes up with BS theories. I mean, I'm sure in some ways he does. I mean, like, if you're doing theories, look, oh, snap, we just shook that up. If you're doing theories out there for any kind of fandom, I'm sure at some point you're going to dabble with a theory that's kind of ridiculous that you don't necessarily buy into, but, like, it'll be something that fans want to hear about, and so you're going to do it. Endgame got me peed twice. Spoiler. Well, Andrew fam, we're doing a fan chat live tomorrow night. Another spoilers breakdown of Avengers Endgame. So come back tomorrow night and we'll talk some Endgame. Who says the Night King is done? What happens if another character gets a dragon glass blade in the heart? Restart the whole thing. That's an interesting question, but I highly, highly doubt that. I think that was as final as. That's as final needs to be, in my opinion. That would be such a weird thing too. If like you would think that the Children of the Forest would know a little bit better to just go and do something like that again. Yeah, true. I mean, they totally used magic. Totally used magic. That's not just an obsidian blade. Think it has to be a ritual of the Children of the Forest? Yeah, I mean that makes sense. That makes sense to me. Lana Mormont. Yeah. Oh my God, the Lyanna Mormont scene. Holy hell, that was really intense. What a great ending for that character. And that character's only been in the show, I think, 2 seasons in this season, maybe 2 seasons in this season, 3 seasons total. I mean, you guys will have to remind me when she gets in the episode, but yeah, that was a pretty cool death. I thought John was gonna get one with the Night King. Yeah, Tim Beckley. I mean, yeah, I kind of thought that too. I mean, you get sort of a version of that with the dragon fight above the thing, and John doesn't he? Oh no, the Night King just raises all the people. Dude, that scene is brutal though. I mean, that scene, obviously you won a Night King John fight, but that scene is better than like the fan fictiony version of what you want that fight to be because it's really despair. So you know what I mean? Like you're walking there, he's walking out towards that guy, and honestly, if he would have just charged, like I'm trying to think about it in my head, if he would have just charged, he maybe would have had a chance. And I also thought that he should have just hucked the sword, sort of Braveheart style, just like over his head. You know what I mean? Yeah, Joshua Stubble says she charged a goddamn giant at that size. Truly, David and Goliath. Yeah, pretty crazy. Ooh, CJ says thought for sure we'd see Hodor. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, and Branch Rand. Yeah. Thank you. If you could like the chat, that would be amazing. Yeah, Tim. Oh, yeah. So he was, but at the same time, like he wasted some time there, man. Like you know what I mean? Like he should have been booking it, man. He had T minus whatever. Yes. Andrew Pham says so. Night King withstood dragon fire. God, yeah, that was absolutely crazy. What's up, Daniela? Steve Denton coming in hot with the super chat, just sending support. Love this channel 3000. Man, that is sweet. That is pretty sweet of you, man. Thank you, Steven. I appreciate that. I predicted earliest week on Gray Area that Arya would kill the Night King. Yeah, I gotta be honest. I didn't see that. I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming. We've been asking a little bit throughout the chat, but I know there's some new faces in here, so I want to know if you guys can let me know. What did you think of Arya being the one to kill the Night King? What did you think of it? I think that's going to be the thing, right? That's going to be the thing that people were talking about. So episode was too dark? You mean like what do you mean by that? Do you mean too dark like too dark gritty kind of that, or do you mean like literally too dark like Solo a Star Wars story, which no offense, the cinematographer for that film should have been fired because that was a very dark film. Starting the fight was bad. Well, okay, so the starting of the fight. So I will say one of the things that I didn't necessarily love about the episode was the way they used the fog thing. Even though I love the like ice fog wave and all that, it did obscure things, and it was pretty weird to visually make sense of the battlefield once that started happening. Daniela Torres with the super chat. Thank you so much. Which Avenger would you like to see kill the Night King? Ooh, that's a good question. I'd like to see Cap fight the Night King. That would be interesting. Tony fighting the Night King would be awesome as well. Doctor Strange, I feel like, would give him the best fight though, and like whoop him up probably the best. So yeah, those are my questions. Thank you very much for the question. Yeah. Okay, lighting wise. Yeah, no, I mean I can agree with that. But it was sort of a nighttime battle. Night shots are actually really weird to shoot in a camera because a camera needs light obviously to develop picture. So like a lot of those like dark blues and the grayed out whites and everything like that. I mean that's supposed to create the sense of darkness, even though you can see it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something I'm gonna be looking for in second viewing for sure. Is sort of just seeing like Can I make it out a little bit better? Do I understand it a little bit? Especially in the middle. Like to me, the middle of the episode really drops off as far as knowing where things are at on the battlefield and whatnot. I swear Sam Tickle's death Tickle like 5 times. Yeah, Coach Jay, I agree. I'm not. He seems messed up, right? I mean, he's got to be a little messed up, like physically. Like I feel like he's gotten stabbed or something because he was not looking good there. I think he lived, but I don't think he's looking good. Yeah, that's actually true. Dang, yeah, that's into the Branch Ranch. Says Arya pulled the Rey move from the Last Jedi, where she drops the saber and then picks it up. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Lighting sucked. Dragon fight sucked. Ghost was too sick and push. Shot and make Kate had obvious flat iron. The King Hex were stupid and did nothing. Okay, so I assume you didn't like it, sir. That's what I'm going to assume from that comment. Did anyone else get the feeling that halfway through that the main characters had invisibility? Kind of got more Marvel vibe than Game of Thrones? Oh, invincibility. Okay. Yeah, and I will say, and that's something I know a lot of people have talked about. And yeah, that's true because the thing about that is they have shown like a plot armor thing. They never used to do this, and ever since they went off book, that has sort of been a thing. I seriously, legitimately thought that one of the main Big Mac characters was going to die in this episode. And yeah, that didn't exactly happen. Oh, Savage Dragon Man, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Pretty sure Arya did the same moves when sparring with Brienne. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Rob. You're absolutely right. I do remember that. That happened. Well, Arya used tunnels beneath King's Landing, sneaking to King's Landing, and killed Cersei using Qyburn's face. Ooh, Traitor J. I like that a lot, actually. Will Arya use the tunnels beneath King's Landing to sneak into... Okay, yeah, that would be really cool. Okay, that's a good question. Nicole Childs asked, is Gilly dead? I don't think so. I thought so at first. So there's somebody that dies in the crypts once all the people like pop back up to life. There's this person that looks a lot like Gilly that ends up kicking the bucket. And I was like, oh, snap. I think Gilly's dead. That's terrible. But I think there's a pulled back shot later in the episode, and I think she's alive. Yeah, Gilly ran with Little Sam. What about the Dothraki extinction? Yeah, that was brutal. That was brutal. What a way to set up the episode. I love it, though, because it gives you so much hope at first, and then it just rips it away, and there's true desperation. You know, it's just similarly to, like, the Battle of the Bastards, and I think just, like, again, Miguel Sapochnik. Like, you guys got to give the man, put, respect on his name. Miguel is an amazing director. One of the things he's able to do really well is build dread, even though we know the heroes are probably going to pull it out. There's like so much tension and just angst and just. I remember like right before those dragon flames just tear on behind them. Whew. It was dire. Ray Floyd says Brienne survived, thank goodness. Yeah, that was weird for me too. I thought she had sealed her. I thought that was signed, sealed, and delivered. After last episode, I was like, nah, she ain't gonna make it. But she did. Junebug, that won't work. It's Game of Thrones. Was hoping the troops staring into the dark just because of blue eyes showing up in the distance. Yeah, Jorah's death. Yeah, that was crazy. That was pretty nuts. Zucchini Cheese says, is Jon immune to fire? That's a good question. I think to a small degree, I think he would probably have to be. I was thinking about this because this is a difference from the books and the show. The books and the show treat these issues differently. George's explanation for Dany walking through the flames and hatching the dragons is that there was blood magic at work. It's not just that she's Targaryen. So the Targaryens aren't just inherently fireproof. They probably have a little fire resistance. But when I was watching this episode, I was like, dude, I think they would probably be fire resistance and probably kind of fireproof. Because if they're just fighting other dragons, they get hit with fire all the time. So, yeah, I would say that he is fireproof. And to me, that kind of makes more sense, you know? Yeah, Jorah loves Danny 3000. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Oh, did they hear or smell the blood dripping? I'd say probably heard because there's a lot of blood in that room. Other than just the blood that's dripping off Arya. So probably dripping. He burned his hand on a lamp when he fought the first walker. Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's not resistant to flame. And we don't know if they feel that or not. They could still potentially feel the pain of it. You know what I mean? Was the Night King a Targaryen? Nah, well, no. And I think too, I think that's gonna be something explored in the books. That's gonna be a George thing. Like, and that character, by the way, doesn't even exist in the books. There is no Night King in the books. So the Night King is a creation of the show to sort of push that plot along and do the television thing a little bit more. Now the Night's King and the Whites and all that, that's yet to be really explored more in the books. So yeah, we'll have to see that. But no, I don't think he's a Targaryen. I thought maybe he was, right? And maybe they'd explore that in the show, but they end up leaving that thread alone. Dany doesn't get burned at all. Even from hot stuff? Did they show that? Like, did she like touch hot water and stuff and it's no big deal? I think I remember that now. I think I remember that now. Where do we go next? Is Dany the new enemy to draw the line, or Cersei become the focus? I think it's Cersei. I don't think it's Dany. I think I'd really like to see the Gold Cloaks and that whole army on their way up to Winterfell and them to attack Winterfell. I think that would be really cool because they're like screwed up there. You know what I mean? So I'd like to see that. And I think that Cersei, and that sort of would put the pressure on Jon and Dany. Because if they're really going to give us that ending, if they're really going to allow that to happen in the show, I hope they drag it out to the very end. So I would like it. I would prefer if the focus went to Cersei, and if that was sort of what they were focused on. She touches the dragon eggs in the fire. Yup. John in the net. Yeah, Andrew fam, I get you. I totally get you. I wanted that as well. Would have been cool. How's John alive? Fire God still has a purpose. I don't know what you mean. I don't see how Winterfell can beat Cersei without the Golden Company turning on Cersei. I totally agree with that, but I think that will happen. I think that because they're Blackfires, I think that's going down. Yeah, totally, Rick Rowe. That's a really good. Yeah, that's a good a good point. See, Jamie survived with one hand. That's pretty crazy. Can we talk about Melisandre for a second? Was she the Night's Queen? Mitfish or Mittish? Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think she just played a weird role. She just had that role. She had been searching for the prince that was promised. She was the prophecy pusher. She had interacted with a lot of these different characters, and a lot of the theories and the speculation that comes with that is tied into who she's focusing on. Is Stannis really the Manus? If you've been in the community for a long time, right? And it's the same thing with all these other characters, with Jon, Dany. Maybe she knew from a long time. I want to know when she knew it was Arya. That's really interesting to me, but we can't really know that. One Piece Owns asks, do you think Arya wore a white face to be able to come so close without being noticed? Yeah, well, I was hoping that, actually. I mean, like, especially the one, when you watch the episode again, check this out. When the Night King's walking out there's a white to the left of him, to your left when you're watching the screen. Looks really weird. And I swore I thought that was going to be Arya, like just taking the face off and stab him. But instead, she turbo leaps over. It was super crazy. Super crazy. Lightbringer? No Lightbringer, it would seem. No prophecy unless that dagger is Lightbringer. Which, by the way, didn't she give that dagger to Sansa? I'm so confused. That's another thing I need to figure out. Arya sneaks up on Jon in prior episode. Yeah, no, she's super sneaky. I mean, that's we learn all about her backstory. I think to sort of make this make sense. Am I going to do more endgame videos? You're darn tootin' I'm going to do more endgame videos. I have like a ton already in the tank. I wrote a bunch of them. I'm working on them now. The next one that's going to release is all about Hulk in Endgame. And without doing spoilers, I basically break down the Hulk in Endgame, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, what people are saying, blah, blah, blah. I feel like Arya were able to die. It would have to be her sneaking up on Cersei. Yeah. I can totally see that. Oh, it was just a dragon glass blade that she gave to Sansa. Cool. Hey, no spoilers. Josh, how do we survive Endgame? I'm so depressed. Yeah, there's plenty still to look forward to. You guys should try to come to the spoilers chat we're doing for Endgame tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Big old spoilers chat about Avengers Endgame. And we can all cry together and talk about it. But there's still hope. If you've seen the breakdown I did, yeah. Take care, CJ. It was good to talk to you, man. Seriously. The Hound had a Saving Private Ryan moment. I'm trying to think of what that was. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. You mean like where he's like taking Arya and all that? You don't have to be sorry. Clegane Bowl. Oh, yeah. Clegane Bowl could happen now. Jon is inevitable. Jon is inevitable. All right, guys. I'm going to go 10 more minutes, and then I'm going up because we're watching this episode again. So 10 more minutes. Get a couple more questions in, and then come back tomorrow night for the chat about Avengers Endgame. A lot of cool spoiler stuff to talk about when it comes to Endgame. It's... What a movie. What a movie. I will just say this, too, about Endgame. I've met the first person that I know that told me they actually didn't like Endgame. I've actually talked to the first person that didn't like the movie, which was interesting. It's actually a good friend of mine. See you, Josh and Stubbles. Thanks for hanging. Dario secretly leads the Golden Company, maybe? Yeah, but we've already seen the leader of the Golden Company. It's that douchey Golden Company guy. I mean, he could still be involved, but nah, he's not. No. Oh, you do? Yeah, I love that poster, too. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's mine. I got to have that. Savage Droman. Yeah, a lot. There's people that feel that way. I've heard people say that. I can't really say why they didn't like it in this chat. I'll talk about that tomorrow. Brent Maxey. I mean, here's the thing. That's a good question. Since Game of Thrones is ending, MCU is going on hold. The MCU is not really going on hold though. I mean, Spider-Man. There's so much to look forward to with that film in July because that's going to be the first movie in a post-Endgame world. We're going to get to see what is going on there. What are people doing? How is Earth coping? How are they preparing? Like, what kind of things is... Yeah, that's going to be really interesting. There's so much Star Wars stuff to talk about. Now, I know some people aren't into Star Wars, some people are. I love me some Star Wars. Going to be talking a lot about that. And there's a lot of Disney Plus stuff coming later this year. Falcon and Winter Soldier show. Vision and Vision and Scarlet Witch show. The Loki show. A lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff to talk about. And as far as Dark Phoenix is concerned, I can talk about Dark Phoenix, but I can't really get out of my head that I've just heard that the movie's not very good. And it's just, there's only so much content you can put out, right? The algorithm won't let you just put a million videos out about every single thing. So you got to sort of pick your spots. And right now, it's hard to justify focusing on Dark Phoenix for content. But look, if something happens with Dark Phoenix, when Dark Phoenix actually comes out, if they drop another trailer, yeah, we could definitely talk about that on the show. Do a live chat, a fan chat about that. I'm down. I am down with that. Nikki, thank you so much. That is very sweet. Yeah, Across the Stars. I'm dang sure that that's true. I'm dang sure that that's true. Thank you, Tim. Take care, man. Oh man, yeah, I gotta get out of here soon because I gotta go check that out. Oh, thanks, Brand Maxi. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, this episode 9 is gonna be absolutely dope. So a lot of stuff to look forward with that. But that is gonna do it for now, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out in the chat. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. If you're watching this on the replay, let me know in the comment section. What did you think of this episode? And wow, just what did you think of the episode? It's absolutely a crazy time to be a nerd. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. And then I got to wait a couple seconds.